I wanted to give a big shout out and congrats to my broskies Antonio Bryce and Kanan White on their comic book brand passing $50,000 in sales on Indiegogo. You can check out their campaign on ikaripress.com. Woo, woo, woo.
Let's break it down. Okay, we on a weird island that's like either in the Bermuda Triangle. It's somewhere off the coast of Australia somewhere because everybody's got fucking Australian accents and shit. Okay. So we're like in Australia coming off. So somehow flying back from Australia is extremely dangerous because everybody is up on this fucking island. Okay, how the hell did the polar bears get there?
Yeah, how? Oh man!
When the polar bear showed up on the island, I was done. It was over.
No, I was fine with the polar bears. I thought, oh, wow, how did they get there? Like,
Okay, hold up. Let me rewind that. Okay, let me rewind that. Okay, so because at first I thought they had a plan, and I thought they were saying,
yeah, exactly.
The island was like maybe pulling people from different time eras or something. Where you could say you were in the 1920s and somehow you got sucked into like a wormhole or something and ended up on this fucking island. I thought that was they were doing it, and I was like, so what if this wormhole appeared like in the North Pole somewhere and sucked in a polar bear? Okay, then they were like, oh, there was a zoo on this island.
See, that's why like the first 3 seasons of Lost were awesome because you didn't know the answers to any of these questions, so it's like your imagination's running wild.
They didn't know the answer to it.
That's the problem is we found that out is, they didn't even know what they were doing, and that's why it fell apart. But in the beginning, when you thought there was actually a plan behind everything, it was awesome. But
no, hold up. First Comics, the Lost Island could teleport, for fuck's sakes. There you go. Yeah.
I would have thought they had like everything planned out from the beginning and every mystery was going to be... No, they were just making it up as they went along.
Yeah, they didn't have a plan. And that's one thing I will say about Brand. I know how it's going to begin. I know the middle of it. I know how it's going to end. I wrote out. I know my little. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they just kind of like, all right, let's plane crash. Everybody's. And then they started. Okay, then there's people that were already on the island. Then they started doing the Dharma Initiative. They started doing all this. It started getting real. And then they started making it where certain people could leave the island and come back whenever they wanted. They was like, all right, fuck it, I gotta go. Man. Hey, I need to go to Brooklyn. Let me leave the island right quick. I'll be back in 3 days. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ! You either stuck on the island or you can't, or the guy's immortal, or this is, oh my God. It was so confusing. And then they had the guy Jack or whatever. Now I will say this: they had, they knew they fucked up, so then they say, okay, let's come up with a great storyline. So then they got everybody off the island. They created a storyline where they got everybody off the island, and then then they left us at the season finale, and Jack was like, he's looking all disheveled, and his whole life fell to shit when he came back home, and he's looking at him. We gotta go back. Go back to the island.
And our ratings are going down. We have to go back.
Yeah, and I was just like, and then like that Lost finale where they can't. Are they in purgatory? Everybody's like, they're in purgatory or something.
I still don't know. Yeah,
you kind of they never really explained it.
Yeah, it was so, and not to mention Jack. Okay, the dude, the one guy, Ben or whatever the fuck, the island protector guy. He passed his powers on to Jack, and then Jack was just there to like eat Twinkies and pass his powers on to the fat dude. He was like, and apparently all you need to do is like scoop some water into this magic cup and let the guy drink it and say some words and he's the guy. Watch the scene. He takes the cup, he puts the stuff in the cup and he drinks. He says, now you're like me. I was like, the fuck? Is that all you gotta do?
It wasn't it the big fat guy and the creepy guy, like they were the last. Well,
the creepy guy offered to be his assistant because remember that guy killed his own parents. That guy betrayed his own parents. It was man, they had so much weird, fucked up debauchery on that island. I was like, okay, so I'm a little kid and my parents bring me to this fucked up island to live here and experiment on polar bears and all kind of fucked shit. Okay, so we're on this island. Oh And then you find out that there's some immortal. This one dude is like several centuries years old. He's like fucking Ponce de Leon era and shipwrecked on this island. And the Ben guy or whatever the fuck gave him the long life powers. And he was like, hey, you gotta keep watching this crazy kid. He's special. And he's like, Ben, I've been watching this guy for centuries. I trust you, but he seems ordinary. There's nothing special about the guy Terry or whatever the fuck, the one that was in the wheelchair that when he got on the island, all of a sudden he could walk. Like he's Jesus, all God Almighty. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, no, dude, they did so much fucked up stuff because they didn't have the characters fleshed out. They didn't know. They were like, oh, we need to tell his backstory now. So then they just made up something else. And then what was the guy, Sawyer, his fucking family, his mom got conned and she was fucking some dude behind the parents' back. And then turned out the guy that ripped them off and destroyed the guy's family is the dude Terry's dad or whatever.
Yep.
And then somehow they bring Terry's dad on the island. When he shouldn't be on the fucking island.
Right. He magically appeared in that room. That's right.
Yeah. He's like, what if, because he was like, he knew in order to bring whatever the spell or the prophecy to fruition that they had to kill his father. And he was like, I won't kill my dad. But he knew Sawyer wanted to kill his dad. So in order to get it done, I was like, how the hell did he get on the island?
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest mystery of all, where the hell is Walt?
Oh, God.
Whatever happened to Walt?
Oh, yeah. Well, they explained that because they didn't know what to do with him because he was having a horrible growth spurt. So they was like, God damn it, this fucking kid keeps growing and we can't do anything with him. Whoa. Get his black ass out of here. Whoa. They got rid of him. They didn't know what to do with him.
That's the problem with these kids on these shows, like the kid from Walking Dead. Like they just grow so fast.
That's exactly what it was. They were oh shit, he's having a growth spurt. Get him some Newports or something. Get this motherfucker to stop growing.
Right, and then it also happened with the kid from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Joffrey.
Jesus, that's an awkward growth spurt that motherfucker had because it's weird. Now hold up, watch the first season.
Yeah. The other kid.
Watch the first season of Game of Thrones where he's literally like 8 years old.
8 years old.
Now he's like 25.
All of a sudden, this motherfucker's balls drop and he's shaving and shit. And he's like, I'm the one-eyed raven. All of a sudden, his voice changed and shit. I was like, what the fuck? And bro,
but it's like, this is only supposed to be like that's.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a couple of months or something like that.
That was
all
some
6 seasons. Like it takes place in a year or something.
They did, there was some weirdo shit. That was some weirdo shit. I didn't understand that because that's why they didn't have him. They were like, well, we're not doing this story. So he didn't even appear at all. They just had him go over the wall and then he was just gone for a whole year.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
He came back and the dude had a thick fucking Adam's apple. All of a sudden, he was a man. It's like he was naked chicks or something. And I was like, that's a grown ass man. All of a sudden, he was a boy. He was like, oh, I must get through the wall and find the I must get through the wall and find the three-eyed raven. I was like, what? What the hell? This is crazy.
He came back. He grew like 2 feet, basically.
Yeah, I mean, and you watch those early episodes when he was so young, like when he was climbing up the walls and watching the brother and sister fuck each other and shit. He's like, oh wow! And then all of a sudden he's got deep ass voice. I'm the three-eyed raven,
little boy.
I'm like, what the fuck? Hulk smash, dude! Hulk smash! And I was just like, oh God, this should be a podcast right here. I could do this.
I love your rant.
Yeah, man.
You gotta have a show where you just rant about
old school TV shows, man. Old school TV shows, and don't even get me started on cartoons, man. Oh, that's my thing.
No, cartoons have to have same-sex couples and shit now. That's how you. You're just like
else.
Yeah.
That's how you get your Netflix series greenlit. You gotta have them all.
Yeah. All right. This is. I feel like I did an episode of Sexy Party. Oh,
You gotta
okay.
have a show called Angry Antonio where you just rant on these shows that piss you off.
There you go, man. Yeah.
I could create. Hey, don't get me started, dude. I'll create a show on a spurt, man. I'll make this motherfucker and I'll syndicate that bitch.
Yeah.
And this will be it.